Akshata, to bring you in, for someone who looks at South politics very closely, where mass leaders are concerned, cult, and the South is no stranger to cult leaders and mass politicians who have mass followings. How do you view Nitish Kumar? You've been looking at him very closely from the confines of a newsroom and possibly might have a macro picture of Nitish Kumar.
In the sense that I've heard all of your ground reports, right? And I've heard all the voices that you've gotten us. But I think what stands out for me, and all of you have spoken of the mahila factor, the fact of what Rajdeep said, that he's the only male leader who's kind of managed to tap into the mahila vote. I've seen what Jayalalithaa has done.
A long time ago.
But I've seen...
Much before others did it.
Yeah,
That's
and I've seen what Jayalalithaa has done, right? Like, she created and carved this image. And the freebies that she gave out, mixers, grinders, scooters for young girls, the Thali scheme.
Even Mamata that way.
Yeah, the Thali scheme for newly married women. It made a difference. And she carved that image very consciously of Amma. I feel that Nitish kind of has done the same thing where, he's created a protector image of sort for the women vote. And I know Rajdeep will say that 10,000 rupees made a difference. But I think that wasn't the only game changer as far as the women vote is concerned. The other aspect that I want to talk about, and I'm sure all of you would be able to tell me, is what happened to the Yuva wave. There was so much talk of, youngsters have come out in large numbers. They want change. They want a young leader. What happened?
That may have been assumption and presumption that they are voting for change and not voting for endorsement or what they see. Perhaps, youngsters we were speaking to. Now, this time Nitish Kumar has done so well. It's not just Nitish Kumar, it's Nitish and Modi. Whoever we spoke to was also saying Modi's done a lot. For people on ground. And that is why if you see, BJP is also single largest party in Bihar, which was their big thing that they wanted to. So there is a Nitish vote. The BJP vote and Nitish vote came together, which did not happen for the other side. So these people had their pulse on not just the arithmetic, but also on the chemistry of Bihar, which the Mahagathbandhan did not.
Just on the youth factor, I want to understand, why did they go, with a Nitish? You could argue that they don't understand. They don't have memories of Jungle Raj, which everyone talks about. There could be fatigue on their part.
There is no unifying youth vote. There never has been. It's extremely fragmented.
It's not a monolith.
It's
like
often, it's not a monolith. It's divided on income levels. It's divided much more on caste levels. And there is never, this whole myth of the youth vote.
But it was made up of
Did we not talk about M plus Y, Mahila and Yuva?
Sure. So I think we spoke about M plus Y because it sounded nice. Like Muslim Yadav, now Mahila Yuva.
Sounded nice.
No, it sounded, the truth of, you see, it's like Gaurav is Yuva and I am Yuva, but we have differences. Right?
So I put a question mark to both where Yuva is concerned.
The Yuva is never going to vote, I believe, as a block. Across. But the Mahila, and we are seeing it in election after election, the Mahila has a greater sense of solidarity with the likes of Nitish Kumar. Famously about 15 years ago, when Nitish won his 2010 election, I wrote a piece calling him the Amol Palekar of Indian politics. Now, why Amol Palekar? Amol Palekar, affable, middle-class hero, did not antagonize anyone. And even 15 years later, Nitish Kumar never antagonizes anyone. No one feels offended by Nitish Kumar. Lalu, on the other hand, was this charismatic populist, chalk and cheese, and yet you realize, I wouldn't call it tortoise and hare, but it's almost as if Amol Palekar for once has emerged as a far more durable star than, all these...
Bankable, I think.
More bankable, exactly. It's a bit like in cricket, Sunil Gavaskar.
Sir, but Lalu Yadav appears charismatic and despite his corruption, despite his conviction. Any other place, somebody like him would have actually been ostracized, but he's lionized. Which is actually scary.
See, I was waiting for one thing where I got a... Look, you are right that we perhaps romanticize Lalu Prasad Yadav at a time, but let's also accept this, and I don't know whether you will. There would have been no Nitish Kumar without Lalu Prasad. Lalu Prasad Yadav created the basis for the social justice revolution that broke the back of the upper caste monopoly and allowed backward caste leaders like Nitish to believe hamari liye jagah hai. No, 1995, when it was directly Nitish versus Lalu, who won? Lalu.
Before I say something, Maria, you come.
On a word which has been used by Akshita here, cult. There are no cult figures in Bihar politics. Nitish, who has been in power for 20 years, is still not a cult figure. People of Bihar may have faith in him, but then he is not worshipped. There's a difference.
They trust him.
They trust him. There's a difference that we are seeing in what we have seen in other states. Cult-like images are of certain politicians.
Because Nitish Kumar, this mandate, you think that's what it is.
No. Yet yet Nitish Kumar is a leader that Biharis trust. They have faith in his leadership. That the aspirational Biharis also feel that perhaps he will rise to the occasion and understand that Bihar wants to move beyond Bijli Sadak Pani, now wants job at home. The migrant Biharis also want jobs. They want to stay at home. That is that faith.
Right.
It's still larger than life.
I'm going to try and bring in Rohit again, but I just want to give my 2 cents because I think one of the few regional male leaders. You talk about, in the South, you talk about Jayalalithaa. I can also, Jayalalithaa is Amma. Okay, yeah. Mamata is Didi to the women. But where a regional male leader is concerned to enjoy that kind of credibility.
Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Mama,
but very few. That's what I'm saying. There are very few. But it's taken years for them to cultivate that kind of image. And I think number one, I do feel for Nitish Kumar to do that. The second thing, I think, which gets very overlooked over time, and it's a huge, I feel it's a sign of genius itself, is that quiet credibility. Yeah. And I do feel,
the silent Bihari, as he's called.
The quiet credibility, and I do feel that in 2010, when Lalu's party, RJD, was practically reduced to nothing, and then Nitish coming together with Lalu, and gave the RJD that massive lease of life, which pushed them in 2015, which pushed them in 2020, and that kind of that quiet credibility rubbed off on the RJD, because
Absolutely.
I doubt
Absolutely.
if that match of Nitish and Lalu had not happened in 2015, today I do feel that a huge possibility that the RJD could have been a 10% regional party.
What you said is absolutely right. Had that match not happened, 2020, Tejasvi would not have
Tejasvi would not. And also, Maria, what I do believe is that, Tejasvi would not have come in with that kind of, because he had that credibility halo.
Because administration.
If that would not have happened, then today the RJD would have been not a 23% party, but a 10% party, taking off from what its performance was in 2010.
But Yadav and Muslims are strong. The Yadav and Muslim vote bank, which adds to almost
shrunk. I feel that halo of credibility.
18 and 14, that 30% stays.
I feel that push was provided.
Give him credit. In an extremely polarized polity, I haven't heard Nitish Kumar ever make a commonly incendiary remark.
I agree.
Remarkable. I have never heard him consciously, openly play the caste card. I have never heard of a corruption charge that has stuck at him. I have never heard Nitish Kumar consciously promote his own son in an environment where even today in this cabinet, all those who talk about Parivarvad should tell me, how is Jitin Ram Majhi's son getting how is Upendra Kushwaha's son, who's not even an MLA or MLC becoming a minister? Nitish Kumar, therefore, is for those reasons, I think, has street credibility.
Exactly, and quiet credibility.
And
I want to give the last word to Rohit.
Street credibility. Okay, go ahead.